to the Daily Streak. It is Monday, June 4th. How was your streaking weekend?
It was interesting. Started off great, and then the U.S. just was a big pile of suck yesterday. So I'm still drinking my sorrows away for that horrible performance. How about you?
My streaking weekend wasn't too good, but my sports weekend was awesome. The Knowles advanced to regionals.
Yeah.
Tiger Woods had a miraculous back nine yesterday to close out the Memorial Tournament, and I'm pretty sure he's on his way to Vegas right now to celebrate with some strippers and hookers.
Very well could be. Let's start off this week with some baseball. We're going to talk Dodgers at Phillies here. Primetime game, Kershaw against Worley in Philadelphia. What are you thinking for this matchup?
Both teams really need this game. They both are on slides currently. The Phillies, this game's in Philly. The Phillies are 2-6 in their last 8 home games. Not very good. The Dodgers are 3-7 in their last 10 games overall, 3-8 in their last 11. They don't have, neither team is in good form right now. The Dodgers still have a great record. I still think they have the best record in baseball.
Close to it.
Yeah. So it's a big game. It's a big series. The pitching matchup in this one favors the Dodgers heavily.
Of course.
Kershaw is one of the best pitchers in the MLB. I know they're going on the road, but I like the Dodgers to pull this one off because of the way they've been playing lately. I think they really need this one. They'll go in there, set fire to the field.
Well, like you alluded to, yeah, they're both on slides. The Dodgers are 1-6 in their last 7 games and 2-9 in their last 11 against the Phillies. But they catch a huge break not having to face Halladay. I think it's safe to say the Phillies are probably the most banged up, injury-riddled team in baseball. They just have a really long list of injured players. And Worley, while he's a solid pitcher, he hasn't pitched since May 11th because he's coming back from, you guessed it, an injury.
Yeah.
Kershaw had a rare rough outing against the Brewers, but I fully expect him to be focused and bounce back and pitch like the pitcher he is. I think the Dodgers get the road one here as well.
Yeah, and I wouldn't read too much into that 2-9 against the Phils in their last 11 because the Dodgers this year are very different from the Dodgers last year or the year before, and the Phillies
are too because they're all injured.
Yeah, and they're not as good as they were. So that's that. I would sort of throw that one out the window. Sorry for throwing your stat.
No, I was setting it up to throw it out the window.
Gotcha.
Just for picking the Dodgers.
All right, cool. Let's move on to. Let's do another baseball game before we switch it up. We're gonna do Texas at Oakland. The Rangers traveling to the Bay Area. It currently is 98% picking the Rangers, 2% picking the Athletics. Was it the Athletics?
Yeah.
Well, I know the Padres.
I got one of those.
Well, the Padres slaughtered some sheep this weekend.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, you picked the Padres as a 3%er.
Mariners a couple days ago did the same thing.
Yep, and you picked the Brewers in a 3%er.
Indeed.
Are you gonna take a risk here and go with the underdog?
Well, you'd think this is another snake special, right? With these 2%ers. Let's dive into this. You look at the matchup. Why is this on here? Rangers are really good. Oakland's really bad. But the catch is that the pitching matchup's way off. Jared Parker has been an absolute stud on the A's. If he gets any run support whatsoever, he wins games. And he's going up against Feldman, who's a reliever who has not been good when he's been starting. He's, I believe, in the 4s for ERA. In his last 3 starts, they've lost all 3 of those starts. The smart pick is still the Rangers because of that enormous talent difference offensively with the bats. But if there's one thing that I don't do on the Daily Streak, it's make smart choices. And sometimes it pays off for me. Sometimes I look like a moron. But I am gonna say that the Oakland A's win this behind a masterful pitching performance by Jared Parker.
All right. I am going to follow the sheep into the slaughterhouse, and I'm going with the Rangers. I think that the Rangers, again, this is very similar to the Dodgers. One of the best teams in baseball. Sort of got off to a hot start. It's cooled off. I think both of these teams are going to get hot again, and I think this is where it starts. I think the Rangers actually are going to sweep the Athletics in this series.
I think they very well could. I think this is the one game Oakland can win. And getting their center fielder, Cespedes, back from injury has been huge. He's probably one of the only guys on their team that can hit, so I'm hoping he does.
All right, well, let's move on to sports that you'd actually want to put streaks on.
Yes, good call, yes.
Let's go to hockey. What do we got?
All right, we got Devils at Kings, Game 3. We've had two real close games, both decided in overtime, both Kings victories. We know how good they are on the road. This time they're at home in LA at Staples Center. Who are you picking?
I've been picking the Devils a lot. I've been picking against the Kings. I guess sometimes I'm sure everyone can relate. You get into your mind what teams used to be like, or you grew up and this team was a historic winner, so you always sort of match them with thinking they're going to beat this team. And the Devils historically are a great hockey team, franchise, and I have yet to get over the hump in believing in the Kings. Okay?
Okay.
Until today.
Oh,
I'm a believer. I'm a believer. I saw you kiss the cup.
Yeah.
And the Kings, if the Devils can't win at home, I see no reason why they're going to win on the road. The Kings are 4-2 at home in these playoffs. The Devils are 6-4 on the road. But they had to win on the road in a lot of those games. They're sort of must-wins. Their backs were against the wall. Their backs sort of are against the wall here, but I think this is different. The Kings with Jonathan Quick just have so much confidence they're going to take this.
Yeah, they're so confident. But I am actually going to throw you a Jared Parker-esque curveball right now, Steve. Kings amazing on the road. Still very good at home, but that's where they have been a little bit weak. And this is it for the Devils. This is the season. They're not coming back from 3-0 down. And it's not like they've been getting outplayed. They've been playing good hockey. They've just been, a couple of things here and there in overtime. They've been playing right with the Kings. And this is do or die. And I think they're going to snag one game here in LA before they crown the Kings. I'm taking the Devils tonight to beat the Kings at home.
If there's one thing I've learned in the last week, it's that you don't know how to pick game threes.
Moving on, let's get to the NBA. Game 5 in a very entertaining Spurs Thunder series. We've got the Thunder first half threes or tie versus the Spurs winning margin. Interesting prop because it's a first half threes. What do you got?
I like this prop because if anyone's like me and follows along obsessively when these point props, it really stinks to come down to the last couple minutes of the game and know that every time the opposing team hits a three-pointer, it's not only getting them 3 points closer, but it's getting them one more on the prop.
Right.
So I like that you're going to know at halftime where you stand. I'm guessing the Thunder are going to hit 4 threes in the first half.
Okay.
So the Spurs are going to have to win by 5 because the Thunder do have the tie option. Spurs are 18-2 in their last 20 home games when it comes to winning by 5 points. So they have covered this spread very easily. Yes, I know this is the Western Conference Finals. This is a different team because they're playing the second best team in the league every night because they're the best team in the league. But I like the Spurs here. I like them to win probably by 8 to 12 points, and they'll easily cover any amount of three-pointers the Thunder throw up in the first half.
Okay.
Game 5 you can pick.
Game 5's like
this one I'm interested in.
This one, yeah, well it's interesting because the Thunder have made some adjustments and they've switched some people and then they've kind of frustrated the Spurs and not figured them out, but figured them out enough to win. But that's an OKC. That's with all that adrenaline that crazy crowd gives them. And again, this is almost like a do or die now for the Spurs because you don't want to go back to OKC with that crowd down 3-2, knowing how well the Thunder play in OKC. Like you said, I kind of give the Thunder anywhere from 2 to 5 threes in the first half. I don't see them making more than 5 threes in the first half. That'd be unless they're just absolutely on fire. And I think the Spurs get the momentum back tonight. I think they win in San Antonio, and I'm pretty confident they'll cover this prop.
All right, cool. So we agree on that one. We'll be right back with Charles' pick of the day. Stay tuned. It's now time for Charles' pick of the day. Jake, what's Charles picking today?
Charles will be picking the international friendly between Ireland and Hungary. In Hungary, Hungary getting the draw. Charles, take it away.
All right, there it is. Charles taking Hungary. Interesting pick. He is.
I think he's just hungry.
He's hungry 24/7.
Yeah.
So that sort of makes sense. We'll be right back with our locks of the day.
Time for our locks of the day. Steve, who will Chris be locking in today?
Chris is locking in Hungary. He's going with soccer. You know him. He's our resident soccer expert. He had a rough weekend. He wasn't seeing him too well with Spain and the Croatia, was it?
Yeah. Croatia got robbed though. Yeah.
But he'll get back on it. So Hungary's his pick. The Streak Beasts are going with no home run in the Phillies-Dodgers game. Is it a 3-6 inning probably? So. Pretty good information on this says that there'll be no home run. The Dodgers only have 40 home runs all year, which is good for 25th in the major leagues. And their number one home run hitter, Matt Kemp's out. The Phillies only have 46 and they're 17th in Major League Baseball. So neither team is a home run hitting team. And you got Kershaw going for the Dodgers. So that's a good pick. Make sure you follow the Streak Beast at Streak Beast on Twitter and also visit their website, streakbeast.com. Jake, what do you got for your lock?
I'm going with the Giants over the Cubs. Giants are at home. Cubs are pitching Samardzija, who's been pretty good, but Vogelsong has been even better. He's been 3-0 with a 1.56 ERA in his last 3 starts, and the Giants are just starting to string together wins and get a little bit more hits, which is what they tend to lack. So no reason to take the Giants at home over a bad Cubs team.
All right, I am locking in the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh.
Going back to my early May Magic where they really
yeah, you rode them hard.
That's I rode them hard. So San Antonio Spurs.
Very
All right.
good.
Well, that's our show for Monday. We'll be back tomorrow. Good luck, everyone, and happy streaking.